Hello, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. It's an honor.
Well, folks that are listening, this is my mom, Susan Unger, who is also a yoga teacher. And we began a yoga journey together back in 2015 when we went through teacher training together. And it's something that, we're both interested in yoga. And so it was a really great bonding experience. And being yoga teachers together has been a really great bonding experience because we can talk about things that we see in class and things to share with students. And with that, I'm going to throw it over to her so I don't say things that she may wanted to say.
Well, thank you, Melissa. And it's such an honor to be here, especially with my daughter at the helm. Well, my yoga experience started rather young. When I was about 8 or 10 years old, my mom took up yoga. And back then there weren't yoga studios or anything, but she did study with somebody. And I believe she took probably one of these 6 or 8 week courses, and she would do it at home though. Because back then you went to a class, but you were expected to do it, in between. You went to a weekly class. And so she would do it at home and we watched her. And the thing that I took away from that as a child was that I knew it was going to be a good day in my house. It just, was that was the takeaway for me. And so from there, in my teens and early adulthood and early motherhood, I took some classes, maybe 6 or 8 week type classes through the community college or adult education. And yoga was part of my exercise routine, either the warm up or the cool down. And I didn't really connect the dots with the meditation part. Believe it or not, for me, it was the asana was like the exercise and the stretching, and that felt good to me. And then I also sought out the meditation part in other avenues with people like John Kabat-Zinn, or kind of people that were just working on that, Marianne Williamson. And I was always very interested in keeping my nervous system calm inside, but I did like to move my body outside. So not until my early 40s did I put the whole practice together with yoga and meditation. And that's when I started getting very serious about it. And I started getting books out of the library and videos and really, just started getting serious about it. And then where I lived at that time, there were no yoga studios. Even then, it wasn't like it wasn't like now where there's yoga studios on every corner. And so I kind of had to find things on my own. And then we moved to California, my husband and I, and we were there for 2 years. And while we were there, and this was around early 2000s, the community we moved to had free yoga. And so I was able to practice yoga for 2 years, and I had one teacher for 1 year, the same teacher, which I highly recommend having a teacher that you study with for a while. And then I had another teacher, and both of those teachers I learned so much from, and I learned that yoga is it's unique to the instructor, to the person, and I learned that you can do different things. So after that, I moved into another area, and I decided to practice at home. And I started being interested in practicing daily. So I used videos from the White Lotus Foundation, which is Tracy Rich and Ganga White. And my yoga practice to this day is very informed by them. I consider them my original teachers. And so then as as you stated, we did the 2015 teacher training together and had no intention of being a teacher, but I was interested in learning, making sure that I was doing things right in my home practice. And so that gave me a lot of confidence. And it was really a huge growth experience, and highly recommend it for anyone that's interested in yoga whatsoever. And then from there, I naturally went into different tools that yoga have. Like I became interested in mudras, and then I became interested in mantras and chanting. And all of these different modalities helped me to get in touch with the different, excuse me, the different parts of my compartmentalized self that I had within me. And I feel that yoga brings all these parts together for you into wholeness, into balance. I think of yoga as a healing modality, and I think everybody comes to the mat to heal, whether they know it or not. And we stay as long as we need to. We go into various avenues. If we're listening to our soul and to our body, it will lead us. And that's how I got into the different things like the mudras, the mantras, and I would stay as long as I needed to. I would be really into them and doing them every day, and then I would gradually move on to something else. So my current practice today, I went from doing yoga every day, every morning, to probably do it about 3 or 4 days a week now. And I intersperse the other days with qigong, which is an energy practice, and I walk every day. And I have become very interested in become a student of Ayurveda in the last couple years, which is known as the sister science to yoga. And that has taught me self-care, which was missing in my life. And I probably think of myself as more of an Ayurveda practitioner now than a yogi. But of course, Ayurveda suggests yoga, the use of yoga. And some of the benefits that I've gleaned from yoga are, as I said, I have improved relationships with everyone, including myself. And I've cleared past stress out of my life, and I keep emotions cleared out of my life. I have an autoimmune thyroid condition called Hashimoto's, and yoga has helped to regulate that. I take very little medication for it, and I know it's because of yoga and Ayurveda. And I am 59 years old, and I feel that yoga has helped me to age well. I don't use any hormones or permanent cream or anything like that. And I have been in menopause for 13 years. So I am very happy and pleased about that. But that's my values. Other people may want to, they may want to take hormones and things. I don't. It doesn't do well for my body. So if I can keep things as natural as possible, it's better for my body. And then the final thing that yoga has done for me in the last couple of years was it's actually brought me full circle back to my Christian roots of my childhood. And that has brought me a lot of peace. So I would just like to say in closing that yoga has something for everyone, no matter your age, your health status, where you are in life, what stage, and that it's self-guided, and that yoga has been around for 5,000 or 6,000 years, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason it endures. It's because it's effective, and it's a slow and steady process that creates effective and lasting change. So pretty much in love with yoga.
Yes, we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
That was so good. Even I learned some stuff about my own mom in here. I didn't even know you took community classes in yoga. I knew you did a lot of self-research and books and things of that nature. I loved how you touched on the Ayurveda because that's a whole nother interesting aspect that some people may be interested in. And how you talked about the teacher training and how you weren't planning on teaching, even though you do teach. And it was such a transformative experience because I hope that people that have been thinking about it will bite the bullet and do it because it does transform your practice and your life.
Yeah, I do want to say I didn't touch on my teaching. Um, I did. I do teach, and the way that I like to teach is in a small group situation. And I have gotten a lot of satisfaction out of creating um, lesson plans for people that are, breast cancer survivors, people that are experiencing grief. Those are the things that I feel called to do, and it may be just an acquaintance or someone that I'm friends with, and I'll just get this urge to create a yoga practice just for them, and I love to do that, and I love to encourage any of students I have to practice at home, and I also like to include meditation in my yoga and not just be about the physical. So.
Yeah, you've created sequences that I've used for classes that I was teaching seniors that were really awesome. And so creative people would love yoga and yoga teaching as well because they can create sequences for just themselves, or if they decide they want to teach other people, they can create sequences for classes, small groups, privates. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all that with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and hopefully we'll have you back when we get a different topic. All right.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.